So I used to put some videos on this channel, but then I kind of stopped and I've actually taken them all down. We're not taking them down, but they're private. This is just because those times for me, I don't actually want to look back on most of them anymore. I kind of felt like I was attempting to do something with no real direction, and looking back at it now was really just not the best. So I've just decided again to start doing YouTube videos, kind of as a way to express myself, not just through my blog. So if you did watch my old videos and whatnot, or if you know me or don't know me, hi. Anyway, so my name is Renee. I was working full-time. I originally was studying, then I got a full-time job and started working there, and I was there for about a year before I left. The reason behind my leaving was because my mental health had deteriorated really, really badly. I've been through a lot in the past, actually my whole life, but it got to that point where everything had built up after such a long time and I couldn't handle it anymore. So what I did was I had to go to the doctors and I got put on sick leave, mentally unfit to work, and then I decided it was probably just best for both company and myself if I left, and I decided to move home. And this was all within a space of like a month and a half, 2 months max. So that's what I decided to do. I felt like that was the best option for me, and moving home meant that I had the support of my mum and my stepdad. So moving home, and then once I moved home I found out I was pregnant, which was pretty hard for me considering where I was at the time and considering other circumstances, which I have gone into a little bit more detail with in my blogs. So you can give those a read. I'm going to try and talk about it as much as possible, but I also don't want to do videos that are like half an hour long talking about this kind of stuff just straight off the bat. So just giving you a quick introduction about myself. But anyway, so I'm now currently 29 weeks and 1 day. So I'm due on the 22nd of April. I'm having a little baby girl, and currently I've been off work since I actually got pregnant, but that wasn't the reason, because I didn't know till I was about 7 weeks, which was just after I moved home, and it wasn't until it wasn't until I was throwing up nonstop. And the original plan was, even to start off with, was that I would get something for the sickness, and then I'd look for a job that I could work in for from that time period of like 6-7 weeks up until pretty much when you go on maternity leave, and that would have given me like a good 6-7 months worth of work, which would have been great. But my morning sickness, it took, I've only in the last 2 weeks actually stopped throwing up, so it's lasted from 6 weeks through till 27 weeks. So that was a really, really long, that's 21 weeks. That's a fair bulk of the pregnancy. That's over half the pregnancy I was sick for, which was quite difficult because I know a lot of people normally stop sort of at the 12-week mark. Some people have it the whole way through. I'm kind of lucky that it has stopped, and we had the fear of when it stopped was this going to be like with my mum? When her morning sickness with me stopped, she got gestational diabetes. That wasn't probably the best thing for her. But yeah, so anyway, I went through a lot of that, so I didn't actually end up looking for work because I was at the point I ended up in hospital originally. I was so sick, I was dehydrated, I couldn't even drink a sip of water without throwing up. And it wouldn't just be like I just threw up that water. I would have a sip and then I'd throw that sip of water back up, and more and more, and it was horrible. I lived kind of in a constant state of dizziness. It was actually wasn't a very great time for me. I couldn't, when I was really bad, I could hardly walk. I could hardly move. I was constantly dizzy. I had no energy, obviously. I struggled to actually stand at some points. I was so bad. And it took about 4 weeks, almost 5 weeks, to find an anti-nausea drug that actually worked for me. And even then it still wasn't 100%. I still had to take it twice a day, and I still felt quite sick, but I wasn't being physically sick, which was good. And then we got to the point where I wanted to wean myself off of it, because it was a very, very strong one. It's one that's normally used for cancer patients on going through chemo. That's how strong it is. But it worked. That's the thing, is it worked. And yeah, that was pretty good that it worked. I was very thankful, because I hadn't actually eaten food in so long. It was really, really difficult. But yeah, so fast forward to now, and it's been a rough journey, but it's been a great journey. And all the little the first kicks, the first time hearing the heartbeat, the first scan, seeing her in the scan. Now I'm going to start crying because this makes me really emotional. That's the hormones, guys. It's great. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at now. That's why I've made all my old videos private, is because my life is going in a different direction, and now I know really what I want to be filming and putting on this YouTube channel. Probably for a while they're going to be sit down videos like this. I don't actually get out of the house a massive amount. This is not because I can't, it's just, it's kind of nice to have this time to relax, and it means that I can work on some of the stuff I want to do at home, which is I want to get myself a nice little online business set up, and I've got everything there I need just apart from the money to get it set up, and it's just because I've had to pay a few things off, and just sort of, I mean, I was working full-time. Sometimes when you have a full-time job and you make a fair amount of money, you make silly decisions, and then when you have to go into a benefit and you suddenly go from getting over $1,000 a fortnight to $200 a week, things kind of become a lot more difficult, and you have to slowly chip away at things, and that's kind of what I'm having to do. But I am hoping to take a small break in chipping away at things so I can go ahead and get this set up, because it's a really great thing. My old babysitter does it, and she's also a really, really great friend of mine. She's got a 9-month-old little girl, and she's so cute, and she actually spoke to me about it and encouraged me to have a think about it. And it's been a few months, and I have had my moments where I'm like, maybe I shouldn't, I don't know if I can. And that's just kind of the doubts in my head getting to me. But I've decided that I'm going to take, a bit of time and money to put towards this and actually really give it a shot, because I think I can make it work. And it's not only that it's going to help me with my health, so it's got so many benefits, because I currently can't take the medication that they need to prescribe me for my depression and anxiety. The ones that they normally prescribe to pregnant women, I have been on before. They weren't working. I didn't have a good experience with them. It was the doctor just constantly increasing and no change was happening. And that's when you realise, and this was back up in Hamilton, the doctors weren't really listening to the fact that it wasn't working. They just kept saying, we'll increase the dosage, we'll increase the dosage. It's only so many times you can increase it before you need to sit back and go, is this medication actually working? No, it's not. Not only to mention I wasn't getting counselling up there because they kept screwing me around, and it's not the first time I've been screwed around by counsellors, psychologists, psychiatrists. Up in Hamilton, I was in the system at one point, and they never called me, never sent me any mail to say we want to make an appointment. And then all of a sudden I got a letter saying that they'd taken me out of the system because I hadn't shown up for any of my appointments, which I'd never heard about. But I'll do a video on that. But anyway, so I'm wanting to obviously improve my health and help. And I feel like I've done pretty well so far. Because my whole diet changed with getting pregnant, partially due to the fact that I don't have the want to eat any of the foods that I was eating before, which was really unhealthy. I did live on takeaways quite a bit, and I have had a couple of takeaways since then. I didn't really enjoy it. I mean, it kind of tasted alright at the time. It's not something I would actively go out and eat. It was kind of I was really exhausted, wasn't at home. There wasn't sort of, we didn't really have much of a choice in what was open for eating food-wise. The one takeaways I'll always eat is fish and chips or Hell's Pizza, because you can't go wrong with fish and chips and Hell's Pizza. But I'm talking like Macca's and Burger King and all that kind of stuff, and that's just disgusting to me now. And I'm really sorry to my friend Dana, but I had chicken nuggets. Okay, sorry, I decided to just say hello. I had chicken nuggets the other night and I did not enjoy them. That's a big thing for me, because if you know me really well, I'm a big advocate for chicken nuggets. But as I said, my diet's changed a lot. I eat really, really healthy now. I still have my moments where I have some bad foods. Like, I do still crave really sweet things. But my actual meals, it's eggs, it's tomatoes, cucumbers, beetroot, little bits of cheese, potatoes. It's relatively healthy. When we have decent meals at night time, we've got everything from broccoli to cauliflower to carrots to beans to corn, lots of vegetables. It's great. Definitely getting my 5+ in a day. But yeah, so this is me. This is my new video series that I'll be doing, which is going to have the focus and direction. I'm going to go over my pregnancy, my mental health, how I cope with it, what works for me, what doesn't, and possibly give people ideas as to what can help them with their mental health, because I know it's a struggle for a lot of people, and it's really difficult when you don't really know. Sorry, my nose is really itchy. When you don't really know where to go. And then obviously my diet, my weight loss, my physical health as well, because mental and physical health go hand in hand. The worse your physical health is, the worse that your mental health becomes. And I want to work on both of those. I am working on both of those, and I really want to share that with you guys. So I do have a blog, and I will leave the link for the blog in the comments, not the comments, the description box. I'll also leave the link to my Facebook page and my Instagram handles and my Snapchat, and you guys can follow me there and see what I get up to on a day-to-day basis. I don't know how regular these videos are going to be. I'm going to go in for at least one a week. Sometimes I may film more. It really does just depend, and I really, really hope that this is of some benefit to someone out there in the world, because life is hard and it can be real crap at times, but with good support, I reckon we can all get through things, and I would really, really like to help people. And what I'll do is, once I have my online business set up, I'll have links there as well, ways for you to contact me, and yeah, I'll be promoting stuff. But my doctor uses this product. I didn't even realise. I was just sitting in her office one day and I saw the product after having a very lengthy conversation with my friend, and then my doctor caught me looking and she's like, oh, that stuff as well will help you with your health and even your mental health. Even though she's still trying to force me to take this medication through the pregnancy, which I'm not doing, because I spoke to the doctors at the hospital when I was in there, and they don't recommend it as an antidepressant / anti-anxiety medication to take during pregnancy. There's been no testing, and they don't know what risk it poses to the child, and how it could affect me as well, considering I do have hormone issues, because it's not a low dosage one. So it's a bit of a bummer, but hey. So I'm going to end this video here. I'll leave the links to my Facebook, website, etc., in the description box. And yeah, can't wait for my next video. And I kept it under 15 minutes, and I'm really proud of myself. But yeah, check me out on my social media, and you'll see what I get up to day to day, and a bit more of an insight about how I feel and everything like that. And then the videos will be more content specified, okay? Everyone have a great day, and thank you for bearing with this slightly long video. Bye.